You may.
So please state your name for the record.
My name is Hilliard Halliday.
Mr. Halliday, do you go by Hilliard or do you go by something else?
I go by HT.
All right. Mr. Halliday, where are you employed currently?
I am employed at Artesia General Hospital.
What's your job title?
I do house supervisor, charge nurse, and regular RN duties in the ER. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Halliday, I'm going to take you back to January 27th of 2023. Do you recall what hat you were wearing that day?
I believe I had on a red skull cap. Is that what you asked?
Sorry,
Sorry.
I didn't actually have that on, but I mean, were you the charge nurse?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, I was the charge nurse of the night shift. Yes, ma'am. In the ER.
Charge nurse of the night shift in the ER. And what does that entail, being a charge nurse?
The charge nurse is responsible for any, well, first you are on the code team, you're on the rapid response team, you're the team leader for any stroke, cardiac trauma. You also deal with any problems that your nurses arrive with your patients or family members, or any abnormalities with any of the ancillary units that you have. So you deal with those.
No, Mr. Halliday, on this date, did you have interactions with a patient named Alexe Trevizo?
Yes, ma'am.
Just before we get going, do you see Alexe Trevizo in the courtroom today? And is she
She's got glasses and she's a black shirt. She's sitting right there.
the record reflecting it has identified your defendant, Alexe Trevizo?
The record will so reflect.
Mr. Halliday, what type of interaction did you have with the defendant?
My interaction was some things that happened, and the primary nurse that was taking care of her came and asked or told me a few things, so I had to interact with her and ask her a few questions about what went on when she was in the bathroom.
So things that have happened in the ER, what happened that you had to intervene or give your attention to?
Well, the first interaction was with Chris, who was our primary nurse. He came to me and said,
Without pros, so let me bring that. So your first interaction was with Chris, and he was providing you information about his interaction.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Was it at this point that you then interacted with the defendant, or did you just?
Not at that time, no.
Then how about the next interaction?
Yes, I did interact. I had to go in the room and talk to her, yes.
Went into the defendant's room to talk with her. Was that about what you had discussed with Chris, or was that about what had occurred in the bathroom?
What had occurred in the bathroom?
So before we go on to what had occurred in the bathroom, did what the defendant said occurred in the bathroom? Can you tell us what was going on with her in the bathroom that caused concern or issues?
I was told that they could not get her out of the bathroom.
Do you recall what bathroom that was?
She was in the patient's bathroom in the ER. I personally did not know.
So you said that the next interaction was when you went in to speak with the defendant about what happened in the bathroom. Did the defendant tell you what was going on in there?
She didn't actually tell me what was going on in there. She just told me, I guess, what she felt happened.
What did she say?
She said that her words were that the baby just came out of me. I was scared. I didn't know what to do.
The baby just came out, she was scared and didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Did she say anything else about the baby?
No.
Was this information, this statement, spontaneous, or did you ask her a question?
I asked her a direct question.
What question did you ask her?
I asked her, "Can you tell me about the baby in the trash can?"
Can you tell me about the baby in the trash can? And her response was, it just came out of me and I didn't know what to do.
Yes, ma'am.
Was that the first, well, I shouldn't say the first, let me just withdraw that question. Did you question further anything about the baby or her involvement with this baby?
Not really. At that time, Dr. Vasquez was in the room, and she kind of took the lead.
Is there anyone else in the room other than yourself, Dr. Vasquez, and the patient?
I believe her mother was in the room at that time.
Was law enforcement present?
Yes, ma'am.
And at this point, Mr. Malley, I'm going to presume that this baby had already been found in the bathroom.
Yes.
Have he already been treated or attempted to be treated?
Yes.
And can you tell us about your involvement with that?
I was called to the restroom by 2 other employees. When I went in there, the baby was in the trash can. I picked up the trash can, went over to the trauma, took him straight across the hall to the trauma room, got him out of the trash, and started assessing vitals.
Do you recall how this baby was situated in the trash can?
The baby was in a liner with trash in it, and then I had to remove another liner on the top of that.
So the baby was in his own specific liner that contained trash?
Yes, ma'am.
And then on top of that
Was another liner.
was another.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recall anything about the bag that the baby was located in, other than it had trash in it? If it was open, if it was closed?
It was tore partially open.
What part of it was torn?
Just the part kind of over the face.
You got?
No, I did not.
Do you know that?
I didn't see it, but I believe Lori.
Objection to the speculation then.
Ms. Gonzalez, your response?
You're reckoning with a little bit of foundation.
Sustain.
Did you, before I ask you that question, did you speak with your staff or debrief about the situation?
Yes.
And based on that conversation, did you come to a conclusion about who you believed to have torn that bag?
Yes.
Judge,
Lori.
it doesn't change the hearsay. I mean, the fact that we're already violating the doctor-patient privilege here doesn't give them the right to use hearsay.
Your Honor, I'm not asking you to tell me what Lori said.
I must stop you there. As the parties are aware, the rules of evidence do apply to a preliminary examination. Hearsay does apply. However, the rule of confrontation under State v. Lopez does not. I believe that this question is permissible as it ultimately comes down to the confrontation, rights to confrontation as opposed to hearsay. So I'm going to overrule the objection and allow the question. yes, you may answer, although you've already,
Okay.
yes, you've already answered, but just to, let's clear up the record, can you have him answer the question?
So you testified that it was torn partially over the face, and you believed, based on the information, that someone had done that. Who did you believe?
Lori.
Lori Aragon?
Yes, ma'am.
So when you you started assessing the vitals of this baby, what did you notice?
There was 0 respirations and there was 0 heartbeat. And the temperature, I checked the temperature, which was below normal.
Do you recall what the temperature of this baby?
I don't recall the exact number, no ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Were there any attempts at resuscitation on this baby?
At that time, no.
Who was in the trauma room while you were making these assessments
I don't recall. I may have been by myself. Maybe, I don't remember, actually.
Did Dr. Vasquez ultimately come in?
Yes.
Did Dr. Vasquez perform any type of resuscitation?
I don't believe there was resuscitation, but she performed an assessment as well.
So no resuscitation, but an assessment of...
Yes, ma'am, of the vitals. Yes, ma'am.
Was this baby at this point deceased?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything that you noticed about the baby injuries, anything that is out of the ordinary other than it being in the trash bag?
That it had an unusually long umbilicus attached to it.
Unusually long Was this, or were you able to tell if this umbilicus was attached to, or was it intact, or had it been severed?
It looked to me that it had been severed. There was no placenta.
It had been severed and there was no placenta. To your knowledge, Mr. Hawley, was the placenta ever located in the bathroom, in the patient room?
No.
With this baby?
No.
Mr. Mitchell.
Thank you. HT, as I understand it, as a charge nurse that night, you had some discussions with and review of charge or whatever for this particular patient. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And when the patient came in, when Alexe came in, did you do the triage?
No, sir.
Who did the triage, if you recall?
I believe it was Chris.
Chris did? Chris
Oh.
Sanchez?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. And am I correct that she was complaining of back pain and abdominal pain?
Back pain. Yes, sir.
All right. And you were going to treat her with regular medications for back pain until the doctor examined her.
That's correct.
And somebody had already taken a pulse, heart rate, and taken some vitals. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
The doctor saw that on the chart and was concerned about the heart rate, wasn't she?
Yes, sir.
Among other things.
Yes, sir.
So the doctor moved her, asked that she be moved to another room.
Yes, sir.
And then you took blood, and I don't know if you got a UA or not, but in looking at your medical records, I didn't see one, but I saw the blood.
I personally didn't do that, but yes, that was done.
Okay. Now, were you present when the patient went to the restroom?
I was not in the room or in the bathroom with her. No, sir. I was at the nurse's station. Yes, sir.
Did you actually see her go?
I did not actually see her go. I believe I was triaging another patient.
All right, fair enough. Did you know at that time that the blood, that the lab had reported back at 12:50 or 00:50 hours that they had a positive test for her being pregnant?
I was made aware that she had a positive pregnancy. Yes, sir.
Okay. You didn't tell her that she was pregnant, did you?
I did not know, sir.
Is that typically left up to the doctor on call?
Usually the doctor or the primary nurse.
All right. And the primary nurse was Chris Sanchez.
Yes, sir.
Now, you were aware, as an experienced nurse, from all the information I've read, you have a great deal of experience. Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
And you're aware as an experienced nurse that once you have a patient that's female and of childbearing age complaining of back pain, for example, that it's very important to determine if that patient is pregnant or not.
Yes, sir.
And another thing that's very important is that that patient indicates, if you already know that she's pregnant and that patient indicates to you she has to go to the restroom, it's probably advisable to do a check and see what the situation is. Is that right?
Sometimes it just depends on the situation, though.
Sure. And in this instance, it would, let me just ask you this as a charge nurse that night. The ER wasn't busy, was it?
Not tremendously so, no.
I mean, it's not like we had something, a bad accident in the oil fields, or we had a bad car wreck, or a plane crash, or something like that.
No, sir.
I mean, this was a Thursday night, Friday morning.
Yes, sir.
When you talk about the baby had an unusually long umbilicus, that's compared to other babies you've helped deliver, and you've helped deliver several.
Yes, sir.
And does that concern you for potential entrapment?
My concern was for the placenta and it being retained by the mother. That was what my concern was with that.
Well, and thank you for that. I appreciate that concern, because that means if that placenta is still retained for the mother, that could be
It's life-threatening.
life-threatening.
Yes, sir.
And I thank you for the knowledge and the concern.
Yes, sir.
You didn't locate the placenta, did you?
No, sir.
But you helicoptered her out to Loveless and Roswell.
Because yes, sir.
Because of that.
Yes, sir.
And when you observed the baby and determined that the baby was deceased, was dead, You didn't see that there was any resuscitation that you could do that would revive this baby, did you?
No, sir.
Thank you, HT.
Yes, sir.
That's a witness, yeah.
May this witness be released, or do you have any further questions?
He may be released, Your Honor.
Any objection, Mr. Mitchell?
No objection.
Okay, sir. You are released from subpoena. What that basically means is you're not going to be called back as a witness. You are free to leave the courthouse and go about your day. Thank you, sir.